Good evening. My name is Les Brown. I'm Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. And Reverend Maureen's pride and joy. We're streaming live to you from the Center for Spiritual Living, Westlake Village, California. So let's give our visionary and iconic leader a round of applause, if you please. Reverend Maureen. Thank you. I want you to take some notes as best that you can and borrow a pen from somebody, because we're going to spend some time together. And I want to let you know that I have hot flashes occasionally. I call them power surges, because I'm a two-time cancer conqueror. And so thank you. Give a round of applause for that. Yes. So the medication they had me on, it causes power surges. At night, when I start sweating, I put the cover on, take the cover off. Put the cover on, take the cover off. I no longer laugh at women who have hot flashes. It is no joke, guys. Please trust me on this. God's got a sense of humor. How many of you have major goals you'd like to achieve? Raise your hands, please. Very good. Shake someone's hand on your right and left. Look them in the eyes and say, you have something special. Do that, please. Say, you have something special. Yes. You have something special. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. And I always start my presentations with how many of you have major goals you'd like to achieve. I want to ask you another question. How many of you know if you had your life to live over again, you could have done more than what you've done thus far? Raise your hands, please. Okay, that proves a point that what you do and what you accomplish in life is only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for you. And, I took some exception with Reverend Maureen wanting to call this an evening with Les Brown. And then today I really processed it, because I'm going to share some insights with you. And I'm going to challenge you to think about the goals that you want. And whatever goals that you want, I want you to raise the bar on yourself. And the reason that I'm suggesting that, I have found that most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they aim too low and hit. And that's what I did a major part of my life. And then that's what I did up until recently, because at this stage of my life, at 68, there's some things that happened that I didn't anticipate. And just surprised me and shocked me, because I'm a person that I've been pursuing goals and encouraging and motivating people to pursue their goals. And I've overcome some challenges in life, and I'm going to share some things with you, not to impress you, but to impress upon you that you have the ability to do more. And then something I realized about myself, that I unconsciously stopped pushing myself. Unconsciously, I got comfortable. Unconsciously, I wasn't even aware of it. And so I realized that I was in a state of comfort. Osborne said, unless you attempt to do something beyond that, which you've already mastered, you will never grow. And so what happened for me, I think a lot of things can happen to you that life can kind of wear down your willpower. Anybody understand what I'm talking about? Sometimes just the toll of things that happen to you that you don't even consider. In Los Angeles, a couple of years ago, I was looking to do a talk show. Used to have one 10 years ago. And many places where I went and interviewed, the people say, oh, he's good, and he's quick, and he's fast, and he's got personality, and he's got passion, he's got energy. And then when I left the room, they told the person who brought me there, he's too old. I'm out in the parking lot, I said, I'm too old? What does that have to do? Wait a minute, they told me I was good, I was fast, had energy, vitality. I could do 142 push-ups nonstop. I bet that little bird chest punk can't do it we just got through talking to. I'll challenge him right now. And I got out the car. She says, Les, get back in the car. You can't go in there and challenge the guy to push up because he called you old. He hurt my feelings. And so what I was doing at that time, I was just being honest, and I was showing my gray hair. And so she said, Les, when they see the gray hair, they think that you're old. So now I use mascara to cover my gray hair. That of Mazelle waterproof. I was there covered up today before getting ready. Okay. You know, my children say, Daddy, you look distinguished with your gray hair. I said, this stage of my life, I'm not trying to look distinguished. I'm trying to look young. So at any rate, this thing called life, I want to share with you where I am right now, and I want you to think about your goals and dreams, but I want to take you on a little journey here about the power of believing and achieving. But there's some things that we must look at. Why is it that most people don't achieve their goals today? What is it that stop most people? Most people don't believe in themselves. What I'm doing, and I've been doing it now for 40 years, that I didn't believe that I could do it. Being born in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City, in an abandoned building on a floor with a twin brother. And when we were in the fifth grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable, mentally retarded, and put back from the fifth grade to the fourth grade. And I have no college training. And so when I think about my life is that this where I was for the first part of my life, I was stuck. I didn't believe in myself. How many had periods in your life that you didn't believe you can do the things you wanted to do? I was stuck. And so the other reason that most people are stuck in life is because most people are bombarded with too much negative information. How many of you know people who should be here today? Raise your hands, please. Yeah, you got to counteract that negative information. I've called a young man today for the third time, and he didn't answer the telephone. And I said, listen. I said, David, my name is Les Brown. We have a mutual friend. And I said, your name is David. David is a giant slayer. You're fighting cancer. I've done that twice, David. I'm going to call you and tell you, answer this phone. But I need to be in your ear. I want you to know I'm not going to stop until you call me back. And hung up. Now, David needs another conversation in his head. But he's received a conversation right now that based upon the facts that he's on the way out. See, I don't think the doctor should tell people they're terminally ill. What they should say is that my knowledge and ability to help you has terminated. See, many of us have too much respect for facts. Am I making sense with you on that? Because that's what the doctor saw. What if he's the lowest one in his class? What do you call a doctor at the bottom of his class when he graduates from school? A doctor. So he needs another conversation in his head. Let's say it's possible. Let us say together, it's possible. I want you to think about some golden dream that you haven't made happen in your life right now. Let us say together, it's possible. Let us say together, it's necessary. That I fight back. How many of you know if you got goals and dreams that it's not going to be easy? Raise your hands, please. That you're going to get some resistance. If you are casual about your dream, you will end up a casualty. Trust me on that. When you want something, there's some discomfort that's involved. You have something special. You have greatness within you. I don't even know you, but I can tell you that based upon my own experience. But in order to manifest your greatness, you've got to put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. You've got to deliberately challenge yourself, stretch yourself, because, and I want you to repeat after me, please, my power is outside my comfort zone. Yeah, see, that's where your power is outside of your comfort zone. You've got to get uncomfortable and challenge yourself. How many of you know that's hard? Raise your hands, please. It's hard. And so you got to go against the naysayers. It's always easy for people to tell you what you can't do. My mother taught me something. She said, Leslie, don't let anybody convince you that you can't do something, especially if they haven't done it. How many ever had somebody tell you couldn't do something? Raise your hands, please. And let me share something with you. You're coming here, being a part of this ministry, being involved in this workshop tonight. It is very important that you continuously expose yourself to positive messages over and over and over again. My mother worked on Miami Beach as a domestic worker. She cooked for families, and we ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for. These were very kind and generous people. They would say, Mamie, whatever food is left over, you can pack it up and take it home to those children that you have adopted. And my mother could cook, too. My mother could bake a sweet potato pie so good you couldn't eat it with your shoes on. You had to take your shoes off so you could wiggle your toes. And walking around those big, beautiful homes, I used to say, Mama. She said, what is it, boy? When I become a man, I'm going to buy you a big, beautiful home just like this. And the reason, as I look back on my life, the reason that I had that vision and my other brothers and sisters did not is because I had the responsibility of cleaning the office of Mr. Swiderski. And Mr. Swiderski listened to motivational messages all the time. He listened to Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, who wrote The Power of Positive Thinking. He listened to Zig Ziglar and Earl Nightingale. We become what we think about. All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. And when we were going across the Venetian Causeway, back over into Liberty City, into Overtown in Miami, my brothers and sisters, they would look out of the window and say, oh, that's my Edsel. No, that's my Studebaker. No, that's my Chevrolet. And I would look at the hotels and the big, beautiful homes, and I would say, that's my home. What was happening? I was exposed to messages that began to expand my vision of what was possible for me. And it began to change my mindset. And I didn't even know at that time how it was impacting me, while my brothers and sisters, they were listening to the things that were out in the world. My favorite book says, be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Here's something else. We're in a new world, and in order to navigate territory that you've never been in, you need a guide. You need someone who's been there who can help you work through that process to get to the next level. Einstein said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. I called a friend today, and I said, listen, I need you to help me out. And he says, what? His name is Breon. He's a fitness coach. I said, Breon, man, the medication they put me on, I said, I gained 250 pounds, 55 pounds overnight. And as a result of it, I became type 2 diabetic. So in 2011, not only was I facing cancer that ate 40% of my T1 vertebrae and metastasized in 8 different areas of my body, but then the medication they put me on, I gained all this extra weight. When I'm on stage, I usually have my coats buttoned. But what happened was I put them on tonight, and I got in the closet. I said, I don't know what kind of insurance coverage they have, but if I get up there and try to hold this in all night and start breathing easily and my button pop up and hit you in the eye, you're going to want to sue Reverend Maureen. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, well, just let me keep it open and just try to act like I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is, it's too small. Oh, my God. When you pass a certain age, stuff starts happening. Stuff start expanding, stuff start dropping, and you know, Betty Davis said, old age is not for wimps. Oh my God, it's a trip. I tell you, at this stage of my life, I can't believe all the stuff that's happening, and I never thought this happened. I want you to think about your goals and dreams. Let us read this together, please. If your desires are not consistent with your beliefs, you will always manifest your beliefs. This is why one of the things that we have to do is work on our mindset to believe that it's possible, and you have to sell yourself on it every day, because we live in a world where we already have some programming in our head. We already have some stuff in our head. Cancer is the most feared word in 7 different languages.